All right, guys, so if you already know, I already reviewed this product not too long ago. So this is going to be a shorter video, not too long. I know I say that every video, but it turns out to be kind of long. But this is I'm going to give a shout out to Big Star 225. That's this name, YouTube name. He actually requested for me to actually do a review to see if this controller actually worked for PC, and I did. And just so you guys know, this controller, of course, does work for excuse me, Android. So let me just show you the process real fast, and then we'll, as a matter of fact, let's put the drop in, then we'll hop right into the video. Okay, now that we're back and we did it properly, let's go ahead and, what's the word here? Sync this controller. So first things first, let's go ahead and take this to Bluetooth so you can see it in real time. Very simple. While this is syncing, you're going to hold the home button and the A. What that does, that puts it in Bluetooth pairing mode. And right here, it searches and it finds it. It's called Gamepad. That fast. It's that simple. So with that being said, I did do the recording actually earlier. What's today's date? Today is the 22nd. So I did the recording the 22nd. I might end up posting this today or tomorrow, either or. And just so you know, in the video, it'll actually show me saying that I tried to sync it to iOS also. iOS did not work. Whenever I go through this same pairing process right here, because you hold the button and press it in Y to pair it to the Nintendo Switch, you hold home and A to pair it to like PCs or Bluetooth devices in general. Or you can use it in coordinate mode also, which the video will show me using it in real time on a PC while the game is running. It's Dark Souls 3. So without further ado, let me show you how to do that. But like I said, it does not work for iOS. It will not find it in the Bluetooth. So realistically, if you're going to use a controller, your best bet is the Razer Kishi if we're talking about iOS devices. But anyway, let's go on to the next part. Then we'll talk about everything and basically just determine, again, if this controller is worth purchasing. Alrighty, guys. So this is part 2 of the video where you guys requested for this Nintendo Switch controller. So what I'm going to go ahead and do right now is it is in coordinate mode, as you can see. So we're going to do 2 modes right now while it's loading. One is going to be coordinate mode. The other one's going to be Bluetooth mode. And I will tell you guys how to actually sync it to Bluetooth if you haven't already. So let me see something. So the top buttons are the same. Counter, shield. Okay. Now here's the issue. Now, like I was saying before, normally in Dark Souls games, the button is preset where it's optimized for whatever system that you're playing on. Now, because of the buttons being switched around, A, B, when using the Nintendo Switch controller, B, A, X, Y are switched on Xbox One and Nintendo Switch controller. So what the computer thinks is that the buttons will be reversed. So if you're a Dark Souls player, you already know that B on Xbox is roll. So B is still going to, I'm sorry, B is roll. So the buttons still correspond with each other. They're just reversed right here. So if you're trying to hold the weapon in your hand with the 2 hands, instead of pressing X, which you normally would, you would press Y. I know it's ridiculous. And what A be? I don't even know what A would be in this game. So X would actually be drinking Estus. And A, if you hold A, actually A doesn't do anything. I forget what A does on a regular controller. Now what I will say is that you do have the option. PC does allow this, and I'm actually grateful for this. If you go into the settings of your Steam, right, what'll happen is PC will allow you to make the the Switch controller act as if it's an Xbox configuration. So what'll happen is, if you're used to playing Nintendo Switch, keep saying that. If you're used to playing with an Xbox controller, Microsoft, you can make it where the buttons correspond. So A will be B, these 2 will switch back, Y and X would switch back. Even though it wouldn't physically look different on your controller itself, it will correspond in the actual game. So the controls that you're used to would fit properly. Now, if you're a new user to PC, then ideally, let me see, do the buttons pop up? So yeah, it'll say rest at bonfire. Everything will correspond with a Nintendo Switch controller. It's just that the buttons are a little reversed, which is a little weird, but if you're just now starting off, it wouldn't be that bad, to be honest with you, because you wouldn't even know what the correct inputs for this for this game is. So it does work. One thing I will say is that every game that I've tried this with, Dying Light, the only thing it didn't work with initially was Call of Duty. That's the only game because that didn't use the Steam. That uses its own loading agent, and I did have an issue with that. I didn't try Fortnite because I don't actually play Fortnite, but every other game, Dying Light 2, other games, it worked just fine. Like I said, the buttons just felt a little off because of the fact that they were switched around. So in the place of where, again, let me go ahead and show you guys. As a matter of fact, let's put this in Bluetooth mode. So as you can see, it's wireless, and I already synced it. So in order to sync this thing to Bluetooth, let me go ahead and show you guys real fast how to do that. This should still be recording. All right. Well, it's going to spin around. I'm not in the game. I'm in the game, but I turn that mode off. So in order to sync it, you hold the home button and you press A right here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is show you the buttons again. So right here where it says X, Y, X, B, and A, that's the Nintendo Switch buttons. While the Xbox controller has X, Y, A, B. That's how the controller normally is set for those that play Xbox. So if you change the settings to Xbox exclusively in the Steam settings, then it'll be like you're playing with these buttons in reverse. So it'll be the proper key layout. If that makes sense, guys. Let me show you. So for those that don't know, they're unaware. See, YXBA, XYAB. So the buttons are flipped. That's how Nintendo Switch buttons are in general. So when you plug the game up, it'll correspond with the correct button. So it feels like you're playing in reverse. That's why I said what I said. But in the settings, you can make this controller act as if it's an Xbox controller. So the buttons will match out even though they say different keys. So that's that thing. So they both do work just fine. Well, we already know the Xbox controllers work just fine because it's a Microsoft product. Let me stop this from spinning around because that's super annoying. And yeah, I'm just going to be honest with you. It works. It does the job. It works. I can't complain. And that's this section of the video. So like I said before, hold the home button and the A to put it in Bluetooth pair mode, and it will sync to an Android device. It will sync to a PC device with no issue. It will work. It's much better than that other controller that I recently reviewed. So that's this section. And the last section of this video, we're going to go ahead and sync this controller to a iOS device so you guys can see if it works. So we're going to try a couple games out on that are controller worthy and see what happens from there. So with that being said, let me go ahead and sign out of this. I actually have work this morning, so when I tag you guys, you better like this video because I did this before I went to work. So, just gonna be honest with you. This controller is worth purchasing in my opinion, but like I said earlier in the video, Xbox buttons are reversed. So this would be A, this would be B, this would be X, this would be Y. Top buttons actually work the way they're supposed to. So if you're playing this on, let's say, a Steam device, it will work, but the buttons will be reversed. It will still pop up in the actual game what you're supposed to press. So the correct button will correlate with the controller itself. It's just that it'll be switched around for those that might have played games like Resident Evil, any game for that matter. It'll feel a little weird with the buttons being in reverse, so you will have to relearn how to play games. But on the other hand, for those that are like, forget that, I don't want to do that, you do have the option in the settings of the controller. So like if you go to the actual game itself, you do have the option, Steam allows you to do this, to actually configure your Nintendo Switch controller to act as if it was a Xbox controller. So what'll happen is, like I told you, Xbox buttons, like I showed earlier in the video, are reversed. These 4 buttons are reversed. What'll happen is A will become B, B will become A, X will be Y, and Y will be X, like the way it would be, excuse me, a little slobber. It'll actually be that way reversed, like an Xbox controller. You have the option to go into the settings and switch it around so that you'll be more familiar with the buttons. So if you're one of those people like me or any other avid gamer that doesn't have to look at their buttons because you know the placement of what it is already, then you can go ahead and switch that around. It won't be an issue. But if you're new to games, you're a new game player, you are new to PC, you're not used to, or better yet, if you're used to Nintendo Switch controls and you prefer it the opposite way around, it's already programmed for you. So it's a win-win no matter how you look at it. Now, I did try this controller on like I said, every Steam game. The only thing I didn't try it on was games like Call of Duty and Fortnite, because they have their own launch browser for the newer ones. So again, if you guys want me to do a quick video on that, or just give you an answer, like did it work for Call of Duty? Because there are avid Call of Duty players. I would say Battlefield, but not with Battlefield 2042. That game is so mediocre, it's not even worth testing on. And like Fortnite, I'll try it on those games if you guys want me to, but just let me know in the comment section below. But again, you know who this video is for, so y'all better like it. The person that asked for this video. And I'll link it to your bio, your messages that we talked about earlier. So take care, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.